we're ready to install the Urban-Trac blind, and I've got a can of silicone here, part of our toolkit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the top and all the way down the blind, and that's going to allow, when we install the Urban-Trac blind, it's going to allow for a nice easy install with the fabric running through the aluminium. G'day, I'm Aaron from Shen, and I'm just going to show you how to load the spring for the Urban-Trac. I've got my ply grips ready. What we need to do is we always wind in the clockwise direction to the required number of turns for the height and width of the screen. And once we get the required turns, you're going to load your pin in here, and that locks off the spring, and you're now ready to engage the Urban-Trac blind. This must be loaded on the left hand side of the blind, looking out. Thanks. Okay, we've wound the spring on. All our tracks are in place. We've siliconed our tracks. We've got our idler into the plastic on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we have our spring engagement. So the first thing we do now, when we engage the spring on the blind, never push it back up. It always has to drag down first to engage the spring. So I'm just going to drag it down. There we go. We're engaging the spring. So you can see the spring working. There you go. Now what I'm going to do now to centralize the blind is I'm going to pull the blind completely down. I'm going to move the kidder over slightly to centralize the blind, and then we can start installing our tracks with our plastic end caps. Yep.
3.
Okay, so what we've done is we've pulled the blind to the bottom, and we've got our black plastic Urban-Trac side funnels fitting on there, but you can see we haven't installed the spine tape yet. So now we've done this, everything's nice and smooth. We go to the top, and now we can install the spline tape either side. We've siliconed the rope track, and we will do the next stage. Okay, now we've I have taken the blind to the top, and I've installed the spline tapes. So the silicone's in there. We're just going to run our blind nice and slowly to start with. Checking that everything's level, everything's running smoothly. We're happy with the screen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to install our bottom plastic ends, and for our top stops we've got our stainless steel top stops, which we will install, and they basically stop the bottom bar on the plastic coming outside the top of the channel there. So we're going to install those approximately about 50 mil down from the bottom bar. Okay, so we've got our blind set up. We're doing the riveting. So what I've done is I've put a rivet next to the top stop here, a line, and I've just held it there. But what I've also done is I've already engaged the rivet at the bottom to hold the aluminium. So now we know that our blind's running nicely. We are going to, every 40 to 50 centimeters, we are going to engage a rivet, aluminium rivet, with this 3.5 millimeter drill bit, then the rivet, and we're going to go, like I say, every 40-50 centimeters. So there's another 3 rivets going to go in this area, and we're going to do both sides of the track. and then we'll go to the other side and do the other side with the same, putting your rivets in. Okay, so we've got all the rivets in each side, and we've the screens at the top with the top stops. Now one of the last things we're going to do is we've installed the bottom plastic stops. So to do that, we had our drill with our square drive, and we've installed with our stainless supplied. We've put those in, and what that's going to do now, it's going to allow us, so when we engage the screen, it's going to allow that screen to stay in the lock position, especially if the silicon's still in the track, so it's still creating an easy draw. So we go to the bottom, turn your handle, your Urban Track handle, turn it anti-clockwise, and that'll hold your screen in place. And now your plastic locks that you've installed at the bottom are working, and the screen is now finished, and we can move on to the screen number 2. There we go, there's 5 Urban Tracks done, all in atmosphere mesh. With the flashing system, and with the flashing system we install the side rails about 15mm inside, and that stops the fabric rubbing against the flashing, and you get a really nice draw on your Urban Tracks. I hope that video helps today, and good luck with your Urban Track installs.